Will and Dave show is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Where will all the martyrs go when the virus cures itself? And where will we all go when it's too late?
With this net, we can do anything on the internet we want to do.
Yeah, we can do anything on the internet that we want to do because it is Friday, it is 4 p.m. Eastern. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Will and Dave show on GlacierTV! Watch it! Watch it! Watch it!
Were you spraying some of that concentrated energy drink straight into your throat again?
I think I was. It's Friday. It's been a long fucking week, Dave. You have no idea. Thank fuck it's Fridays. And don't forget, if you head over to TGI, you can get yourself a burger, unlimited fries for just $10.
TFIF?
Yeah. It's Friday. And what a week it's been in motorsports the last couple of days. And what a week we're getting in motorsports this coming weekend. There is so much to talk about. We're going to the paperclip in NASCAR, where they might not actually blow a tyre every 25 laps. We've got Formula 1 in Malaysia. It could fucking rain. And Dave, IndyCar starts, wait for it, this weekend!
Right now!
Well, yeah, it's actually started. It was going on right now, and practice has completed for the first round of the Verizon IndyCar Series, not the IZOD IndyCar Series, the Verizon IndyCar Series, because let's be honest, no one gives a shit about IZOD clothing.
No, they do not, sir.
Would you like to do Twitter?
Follow the Will and Dave Show on Twitter at Will and Dave Show. You can also like us on Facebook at Will and Dave Show. Nice symmetry, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. By the way, we have got my good friend and co-commentator for the iRacing.com World Championship Grand Prix Series, Nick Rowland here. We also have the guy who we like to boot out the channel, Justin Patchell. He's not going to talk at all, because if he does, he's booted. Dave, we really should start with my boss, because I was talking about this before we went on air, and we're not going to talk about motorsports just yet. We're going to talk about my boss, because a little thing that people don't know about my boss from my company where I work is that he was the Classic Rock Association Bassist of the Year winner 17 times.
Why is he not out on the road jamming to music with lots of groupies?
Well, he used to be a touring bassist, so what would generally happen, he used to work with a number of bands like IQ and Arena that no one's ever going to know about. If you do know any of those bands and know my boss, John Jowett, then I will actually come over and give you a high five and possibly even send you a signed album. But he likes his job as a planner. He likes to make money. And he does occasionally literally just leave work for 3 weeks and go touring. That last year, he went to play in Israel.
Very interesting.
Yes.
When are you going to get on board with that?
I don't know. Well, you know how good my singing voice is.
We know it's awesome. And we've seen your video of you miming some Spice Girls music.
Yep, true. And also, we all know, because of the fact that I'm black, I naturally can play the bass guitar.
Is that how that works?
Did you not see that South Park episode?
No.
Token, literally, Token was able to play the bass. He just found a bass, was able to play. There we are. And that is the reason why I played that little clip, which hopefully won't get us busted on YouTube or Letterbomb, because he was in the office today. This is how awesome my office was. It's been a really long week, and my boss was playing the American Idiot album, and therefore, I literally, on the way home, listened to the entire American Idiot album, start to finish, and I've forgotten how fucking good an album that is, Dave.
Sometimes you forget about really good music just because you get drowned out with a bunch of junk, and you start listening to different things, but sometimes you revisit it, and sometimes it's even better the second time around.
Yep. The one thing that wasn't better the second time around is when people changed their tyres in the last NASCAR race. You see what I did there, Dave? That was a seamless link.
I thought for sure you were going to talk about Air Titan 2.0.
Well, yeah, it's been... Shall we not? We'll talk about what happened at Auto Club. I mean, let's start in the Nationwide Series. I think what... What happened in the Nationwide Series race? Really, Carl Larson proved why Ganassi were right to put him in that 42 car, because I have to say, Larson impressed the fuck out of me in that Nationwide race, beating Kyle Busch, beating the closer, Kevin Harvick, he was able to hold them two off the last couple of laps. Yes, Harvick and Busch fought with each other so much that it wasn't really just one driver trying on with Larson. Those last 2 laps, though, Larson showed why he deserves to be in that number 42 car and why he deserves to be in that car over that fat fucking Colombian cunt.
Well, insults aside, he almost proved it again on Sunday why he belongs in the 42 car. He was almost able to steal the victory away. Unfortunately, our buddy, the 18 car, came through again at California. But that really wasn't the storyline, was it?
It wasn't, no. And we will talk about that storyline in a moment, because I don't know about you, Dave. I was hoping for a second green white checkered there, because my God, Larson, I mean, what, they were like 7, 8 wide at one point coming into turn 1. And I mean, he was able to get himself from, what, 9th into 2nd? Another green white checkered, I think he could have won that race.
I thought for sure Landon Castle was going to hold on to it.
Well, I mean,
Well, here's an interesting point about Landon Castle, okay? 2 laps to go. He starts in the lead. You know where he finished?
tell me.
He finished like 26th, 1 lap down.
Wow.
So he was so slow in 2 laps, he got lapped.
Well, maybe his tyre exploded like everyone else's. That really was, as far as I'm concerned, Goodyear aren't to blame fully on this, I don't think, but Goodyear should have been better prepared. This was the first time that we've gone to, a really big, abrasive oval this season, because let's be honest, Las Vegas is smooth as fuck. We know that from an IndyCar run there, and I think that overall, Goodyear, NASCAR, the teams, they fucked up here. It was the most despicable tyre race since, of course, 2008 Indy.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate that they just kept having tire problems. It was almost comical at the end where it's like, boom, there's one tire, boom, there's another one, boom, another one. Like in 3 laps, you had like 7 or 8 cars. And then you had people having the audacity, Jeff Gordon fans having the audacity to get pissed at Boyer saying, oh, he spun out on purpose again. He had no left rear tire, you morons. I'm talking to you, John Goke.
5-hour energy when you've got to get stuff done. I had to.
when you get it. But he was sponsored by iRacing. He should have won.
I know, and I mean, people were cheering him on those last couple of laps. I think the entire racing community. The thing is, I was actually trying to look, and I never really saw that rear bumper properly for those last 30 laps. It's like, come on, show a decent fucking shot of it. Let's get people. And iRacing, by the way, have got themselves a new deal because of that. If you head over to iRacing.com right now, you can get your first month's membership for just $5. And also, there's 50% off your 3-month, 1-year, and 2-year membership for new members, which is a saving of 50%. Just $15 for 3 months of racing, $49.50 for 1 year. Dave, what's going on?
It's amazing. It's a great time to join iRacing.
Or, as TT would say, iRacing.com.
Where you can go side by side.
In the battle for the 14th position. Oh, God, we're gonna have so much fun today.
There was a comment on Facebook from a mutual friend of ours who was quite annoyed with the the bad phraseology of the Pro Series races, or the what the hell is the series called?
The NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series powered by iRacing.com. That in itself is a tongue twister.
Still not as good as the Brickyard 400 presented by Big Machine Records, blah, 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 and Crown Royal, or whatever the hell it was. I mean, I could look it up again for fun if you want.
Well, yeah, I mean, the one that always sticks in my head is the Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. I wouldn't commentate that series just because of how fucked up that is.
Oh, here we go. The Curtis Shaver Crown Royal presents the Curtis Shaver 400 at the Brickyard, powered by BigMachineRecords.com.
That's about long enough that you could actually have that as an entire segment between adverts.
That's 16 words if you count like the .com.
And I thought that, let's be honest, the rednecks can't say more than about 6 words at a time.
Well, you can't make fun of a significant portion of our listener base.
Yeah, we can, because this is the Will and Dave show. We take the piss out of... Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public service announcement. If we offend you, tough shit. We're going to offend someone else in a minute. Talking about people being offended...
We're going to offend Sir James Swinbanks on Twitter, because he says the best thing about cooler temperatures is that you can wear his Ugg boots. So the Will and Dave show replied to him, "You have fuzzy woman boots."
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. People took the piss out of me wearing capris. I think that's just trumped that.
Mr. Swinbank says, "I have fuzzy, warm man feet boots, you fucker."
Why can't he just be like all the people in New Zealand and become a hobbit?
Wait, I didn't know it ever got cold enough in Australia to actually need boots.
No. I mean, what do you mean that the women there are going to put something above their swimsuit? What the fuck?
I thought it was warm enough there to just cook shrimp on the bobby all year round.
Oh, no, we're not allowed to call it shrimp, but apparently it's prawn.
Prawn?
Yes, did you not see his Facebook thing earlier? Well,
Shrimp on the Barbie,
Shrimp on the Barbie, yep. And don't forget to give me a cold Fosters at the same time.
I know that Mr. Swinbanks loves Foster's. It is Australian for beer. It's his favorite beer. In fact, it's his favorite beverage, and it's Australia's favorite. It's in all of their hearts.
Yep.
Foster's! Unofficial sponsor of the Will and Dave show.
Yep. So, NASCAR. Let's go back to NASCAR. Jimmy
Way
Johnson.
to stay on topic.
Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, we said before we went on air, we're going to stay on topic today. Fuck that. It's not happening. Jimmy Johnson. I think there were a couple of people that cheered. And let's be honest, we don't normally cheer when someone has misfortune. But let's be honest, Jimmy Johnson, we cheered when he had his tyre fuck up. Because until that point, he was fucking dominant.
I felt bad because Harvick had 2 tire blowouts, and I mean, he came from like 35th to 3rd and then blew out another tire, and then a brake line got ripped off. And 3rd weekend in a row, he had a shot at winning the thing, and it all came apart. So I think snake bit is the proper term for his luck right now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of been a bit of a weird year for Johnson. He hasn't won a race yet. You know, he's done that before. But it's not been the Jimmy Johnson that is a 6-time champion in many ways. This really was his first time to shine this season, and to have that taken away from him. I was talking in a podcast I did with Nick earlier about momentum and championships. Yes, it's won you in the chase, but still, that momentum will possibly haunt him now, coming into, I think, all the way up until about Talladega.
I was reading Twitter, I wasn't listening.
Anyone care about Twitter?
Well, but Pet Shower Motorsports tagged us in something.
Oh, so basically, instead of actually talking to us, he's going to fucking tweet us the entire time.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. Thank you very much, Justin Pet Shower from Pet Shower Motorsports, the world's best sim racing team. Pet Shower Motorsports. If you go over to Pet Shower Motorsports right now, you can get yourself half price off the juice that I just dropped.
Well, do you realize that every time you tell me before the show that, hey, we're going to stay on topic, this time we got a lot to talk about, we just go absolutely off the rails immediately?
Yeah, that's exactly what we do.
In the shows that we don't plan at all, we're just like, okay, ready, 3, 2, 1, go. They're the best.
Well, we didn't actually do much planning for this one, let's be honest, Dave. We did, what, a minute? I think your exact words are, what we're going to talk about except for NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula 1, and I said tires.
And then I went kablamo.
Kablamo! Yes.
Another tire just blew out. Jeff Gordon said he was so mad he couldn't even talk to the Goodyear types at the Sonoma test.
The thing that really got to me was how NASCAR and Fox were still doing their Goodyear blimp commercials. It's like everything we learned from the world's toughest series inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, allowing you to have a blown tire and smash into a bridge.
So every time I hit a speed bump or a pothole with a Goodyear tire, it might blow out.
Yeah.
At least it'd be, what they learned in NASCAR.
It is. And it inspires what they roll into your tires. Basically, buy a Firestone. Firestone. We're going to get a proper lawsuit on this one, aren't we?
Why?
Because we just ripped the shit out of Goodyear? Actually, no, they rip the shit out of themselves, don't they? Shit.
They tear themselves up.
They literally tear themselves. Basically, Goodyear, in that last race, decided to listen to too much My Chemical Romance before the start, and they started cutting themselves.
Wow.
This is the Will and Dave show I love, Dave. This is what when we start offending everyone and everything. How I just bought my chem in, I have no idea. But, I mean, that race overall, As soon as that penultimate caution came out, and I looked at the clock, it's like 30 laps to go. It's like, this ain't gonna go green to the end. 10 laps to go, this ain't gonna go green to the end. 5 laps to go, okay, who's it gonna be? And there were people cutting their tyres, being all, emo queen. But it's that sort of thing. How do you prepare for that as a race car driver, knowing at any moment it could be, yeah, okay, time to try to start. It's like back in Silverstone in 2013 in the Grand Prix. It's like, how do you prepare for that? And let's be honest, both an NASCAR and an IndyCar, not an NASCAR and an IndyCar, a NASCAR and a Grand Prix car, in both those circumstances, I wouldn't want to cut a tyre, because in Formula 1, you're basically spinning off into the grass and hitting something. In NASCAR, you could just turn right and hit a safer barrier.
Yeah, true. Like you were saying, how do you prepare for that? You can just drive as hard as you can, hope it don't happen to you.
But of course, there was a winner, and
yeah,
the 18 car. Yay! Moving on. We got a Grand Prix this weekend.
But he quoted Days of Thunder in Victory Lane.
Yeah, because that automatically makes him cool. I mean, let's be honest. He's driving a car which has more nuts than he will ever have. Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
Or maybe
wink,
not.
Wink.
Yeah. But we've got a Grand Prix this weekend, Dave, and
Yes,
I'm kind of looking forward to it, but only if the weather plays up, because that's the thing about Malaysia. If it's a dry race, then meh. If it's a wet race, yay! If it's a dry race, or a dry, wet, dry, then basically there's only 3 words. Multi-21.
Yep.
So,
well,
what's going to happen?
chances are you're not going to... Well, Red Bull's continuing to run their own fuel flow devices, so they may be running afoul of the law again. I don't get what they're trying to do with that. It doesn't make sense to me. Everyone else knows that, yeah, it's not perfect, but we got to go with it. Red Bull's like, screw you guys, we're gonna put our own stuff on there, and we're gonna file protest, and then you're gonna agree with us, and then we're gonna get all those points back. I don't see that working out.
It's kind of bullshit, though, as far as I'm concerned. That Red Bull...
It's not kinda, it is.
It is bullshit, and this is why I don't like Red Bull, because they do always kind of push the limits as much as they possibly can, but really this time they've gone too far. And quite often you have, when Charlie says something, you do what Charlie says. Because Charlie Whiting, he's got the toughest job, in my opinion, in all of motorsports. And when he says something, you just do it. Whereas this time, it seems to be Red Bull are just saying, fuck you. And this is, in my opinion, is going to mean that the other teams are going to start doing. I think this is what Red Bull want to have happen. They want the other teams to say, fuck you as well. And then eventually, what will happen is it will nullify the fact that they went and fucked over the rules, and they don't want to pay their own punishment.
Yep, and that they can run the fuel at a higher flow rate, which seems to benefit them. Because look at Vettel, he was running the correct equipment, and he blew up after like 5 laps. Gee, Ricardo has a higher fuel rate and manages to finish second.
Yeah. I always had this conspiracy theory about Fernando Alonso and Giancarlo Fisichella, that Fisichella was ahead of Alonso at what was always Fisichella's best track in Canada. And I swear that Briatore hit a button, and then about 10 seconds later, Fisichella blew up. I wouldn't be surprised if Red Bull went over to Rocky and say, yeah, sir, what we want you to do, Rocky, is we want you to go to the Ricardo, just twiddle the knob to make the fuel flow go a little bit higher.
Twiddle.
And then after that, we'll go back to the bus.
Wow, the same guy that was your tour guide runs Red Bull?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Wow, this is a great episode. What? You never explained what episode this was. I don't know my Roman numerals that well.
This is Joey Logano.
22.
So basically, we have to act all immature.
XX. I.
Of course,
Does that work?
Next week is the Blink-182 episode. What's my age again?
23.
Yeah, because no one likes you when you're 23.
Here we go.
Yep.
If we had Andrew King week, he probably could have played a clip or something.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, next week I'll actually sing a clip of it. How do you think that?
For episode 23, can we not put Danica up there anymore?
Oh, no. What we should do, actually, and this is a good
Should put,
point to move on.
We should go old school and do like Lynn St. James.
I was thinking, actually, we need to really support Josh Wise's career right now. So I think next week we need to have a Shiba Inu, whatever they're fucking called, with the many wows, such a maze, Will and Dave podcast.
Well, for those who don't know, like myself, do you know anything about this douche thing or doog or whatever it's called?
The first one is no one knows how to pronounce it. Of course, then on Fox they were saying it was Dogecoin. I was always told it was Doge or Dogi, and the idea of it in the original place with the E at the end was supposed to be Dogi, as you would actually enunciate it. But it's been changed and varied so many times now. And essentially, it's a bit like Bitcoin. It's a cryptocurrency, so you buy shit, you sell shit. It has its own stock market, and you do a little bit of mining, because everyone loves mining, the same way that everyone loves trolling. In fact, if you can merge trolling and mining together, you'd
Wait. I know who would be the best person at trolling / mining coins. You want to know who that is?
Go on.
All right, hold on. I got to get him in the room. Hey, come here.
He's here. No? Who?
Did you guys call for me?
BT in the house!
I'd be the richest bitch on the planet!
I think that he really showed his intelligence in a great thread on the irishing.com forums, which actually really shows the issues about how people perceive things around the world. And it was a pizza delivery one. I think that would make a great psychology paper. How much do you tip your pizza delivery guy? And, most of the Americans, they did the whole thing. Okay, it'll be 10%, 15%, $5, whatever. They had the UK say, no. We don't tip our pizza delivery guys. They're doing a service. They're getting paid for that service. And therefore, actually, they should be paying their taxes like real human beings. And then you had the Germans who was like, no, that's finished. The Finnish like, we used to be communists, so therefore we don't tip them because it is all of our pizza. And then you'd have the Germans who were like 99999%.
Well, I know somebody who claims that they know how to write code and develop a sim. Maybe he's starting up his own delivery service sim.
He could work mining. What?
He could work in a tipping algorithm into his game.
Well, let's be honest. This person we're talking about does order a lot of pizza.
Yes, he does.
Although, to be fair, he claimed that he likes DiGiorno, and you can't really tip the oven afterwards, can you? What do? You just, put a couple of dollar bills in there. There you go. There you go.
I'll keep you clean. I'll wipe you down.
Yeah. Well, wait, are you talking about the pizza oven or the other thing right now?
Never mind. Hey, you said we had to keep ripping people, so let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Who should we rip next?
Well, we never finished talking about Josh Wise and Dogecoin, and I actually think that I like this, let's be honest. Because last year we had Ricky Bobby, which got all the attention for Kurt Busch. Could you imagine if Josh Wise wins the race in a Dogecoin-sponsored NASCAR? It'll be fucking phenomenal.
Would the exchange rate be increased like tenfold?
I think it'll be increased tenfold anyway, just because of the fact that people will know it. Let's be honest, what Bitcoin sponsored, eh? This is what you do if you want to have a decent business model. All you need to do, get a cute little fucking dog on your picture and have many wows.
Many wows.
Yep, such business.
Such business.
Such business. Wow.
Is that going to become like its own language?
It kind of is already. You can actually, there are translators online. We can translate from English into Dogi.
If you find it, I'll post it up on the Twitter page.
We should actually do the next blurb for the YouTube page. We should do that in Dogi.
That would be kind of funny.
That would actually. Oh, see, we're already planning our next episode. Our next episode's going to be shit now.
They're all junk, aren't they?
Well, you're not. Although, Dave, you might as well tell the viewers about the potential time and date change to the Will and Dave show, potentially starting next week.
Well, no, not next week, but the following week. Yours truly, Mr. Judson, has found new employment. So I'm not sure when I'm working yet, so the Will and Dave show may have to move to a different day. And I'm sure John Porzik would be happy because he says we run this show way too early because apparently he has a job or something where he works past
He's a
3
lawyer. He
o'clock.
doesn't work. He just shouts at people. Objection, Your Honor! Objection, Your Honor!
And the judge is just saying that they're going to have a recess for lunch, and he's objecting to it.
Yes. Objection! Starbucks queue is too long.
It's not a queue in America.
Sorry, a line?
It's a line.
Yeah, sorry, a line.
A line?
Yeah. I need to remember that the next time I complain that the line in and out is too long. I mean, that's the whole thing. Every time I've been past the in and out, the line's just been atrociously long. It kind of devalues the entire purpose of being called in and out. It's not in, stand there, wiggle around on the spot a little bit, and out, because that's what I like to call foreplay.
Well, you are in and out. It just doesn't specify how long.
Well, normally when I think of
See
in
what
and
they
out,
did there.
it's like that time when I'm in a camping tent at a festival, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm drunk enough. Let's just get it over and done with.
Oh, God.
And moving on to things that might be out soon. Red
Should
Bull
we just-
might quit F1, says owner Dietrich Mateschitz. Is Nick,
Mateschitz.
are you here?
Mateschitz.
Mateschitz, that's the one. Yeah,
Did you just call him Mad Shits?
yeah.
Is that
Pretty
like
much.
an extreme diarrhea?
To be fair, though, if you basically drink Red Bull all day, that's what you have. Mad shits.
Wow.
Have you never had Red Bull farts, Dave?
No, I'd never drink Red Bull.
Vodka, I mean-
I hardly ever drink energy drinks as it is, and if I do have an energy drink, it's usually a Monster.
Yeah, Monster's so much better than Red Bull. There was
Yes.
a time though that I basically went out the night before. I was working an event at university, student event, and had quite a few vodka Red Bulls. Might have been a tiny bit drunk when I actually started working at this thing. And then when I was taking them on the tour, I decided, I tell you what, I need to let one rip. Didn't understand the velocity and power of the stench of a vodka Red Bull fart.
Well, the people you surrounded you, did they like pass out, or were they blown out of the way, like knocked over, or what happened?
The place is still uninhabitable.
So it's like Chernobyl.
It really is. Red Bull, the new nuclear fuel for the entire world. All you need to do is just add students.
Wow.
But Red Bull might be quitting Formula One. Because
Yeah,
of the
right.
fact he's not happy with the way the sport is run. You know what this says to me? It says to me, Penske, 1980s. In fact, no, let's go back to before the 1980s. It was basically, the formation of kart, and then the split, and all of that shit going on. And let's be honest, Formula One almost had a split about 5 years ago, and Ferrari were always up in arms. Could you imagine if Red Bull and Ferrari actually agree on something? You take the two hottest commodities away from Formula One, F1 will be dead. About the same time that Bernie Ecclestone would have a heart attack and die.
Yep. You know these teams are itching to bring those old V8s back out and start running those.
Well, yeah, Red
They
Bull only
can't-
want to bring them back because they know they can actually win in them.
Exactly. So if you quit, start your own series, get a couple teams to join you, then maybe IndyCar takes advantage.
Yeah. I mean,
Since they actually have a decent series going on.
and what's the one thing that we learned from the last 20 years, Dave? Splits don't work. Unless, of course, you're a hot college girl, not wearing many clothes, with a red cup in your hand, in which case splits are acceptable.
And so are slits, I guess.
Yep. Or banana splits, but apparently you can get them from Sonic, and they're kind of just blended into a kind of milkshake thing, because that is how they Sonic.
You know what else I just thought of? I might not be able to go to Indy if I have this new job.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Dave.
Well, I had the vacation plan for the old job, but I don't think I'll have enough time in yet to take vacation then.
First day of work. Hi, I need to go to Indianapolis because I need to basically mollycoddle my British friend who would otherwise get arrested, then not leave America and add to our immigration problems.
Exactly. Then he'll steal some low-wage earner's job, and then that'll be the end of society.
Fuck that shit. If I move to America, you know I'll be a billionaire within about 2 years.
Well, get over here then.
All I need to do is basically, I think I can make a ton of money. Do you have like street artists in America? And I know you have the naked cowboy, but are they prevalent?
No.
I'll basically be like the naked cowboy, but I'll be basically dressed up in a suit all day, top hat and everything. I'll just be sat in a chair, drinking tea, eating crumpets, and spouting abuse in a proper English accent to people. It's like, oh, look at you, you ruffian. No, pull your jeans up. We do not want to see your anus in those poucher shorts.
You couldn't keep that up.
Bet you I could. I'll be a millionaire or dead.
I want to see you for an hour on tape in Indy doing that.
Dave, I think we just found a way of making ourselves famous on YouTube.
I want you to sit in the middle of downtown Indianapolis in a friggin' chair with your top hat and yelling at people.
I mean,
with a little sign above you that says, "Brought to you by the Will and Dave Show, Fridays 4 p.m. on GlacierTV."
On GlacierTV, you know what you need to do?
What do we Watch it! Where is Andrew King anyway?
I don't know. It's kind
Wait a minute. His suspension's over. I bet you I know where he is.
GT3 race.
I'm checking it right now. Let's see. We're gonna stalk him on iRacing. Let's see if he's online.
Has he put a spotter password on?
It doesn't show him online.
Oh. Maybe he's actually, doing what normal people do and being outside, maybe with his wife or something like that. He could be
Terry
having
Mathiasen
sex
is
right
online.
now.
Oh God, why? You want
Online on iRacing right now, Terry
And Matt Cook is in the IndyCar Series of Road Race.
A.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Tim Hortons. A. I really do. That's the thing. Is I've actually technically been to Canada more in the last year than I've been to America because I legally entered Canada twice. I'd love to legally enter a Canadian, but I've legally entered Canada twice, and I've only entered America once, and I didn't enter any Americans at all.
No, you failed miserably, and you had plenty of booze, and you still couldn't get it done.
Well, yeah, because I was drinking the booze, and I wasn't passing it on to other people, except for that one girl on Carb Day.
Well, I wasn't there for Carb Day, but you had an opportunity after the race was over. The girl that used the manifolds next to her neighbor's yard, and well, you let it slip through your fingers.
Wait, yeah, because I'm not going to do it in Manifold's back garden or Manifold's neighbor's back garden.
Why not?
Because
all sorts of crazy stuff was happening around the Manifold's house that weekend.
The idea of I can only deal with one bush at a time.
How do you know that there was a second bush?
There was one in the garden. I remember because I was pissed in that garden the night before. It's okay. Vanessa and Scott both told me to piss in the garden because it was too far of a walk to the toilet.
They just needed a little extra acidity in the soil, huh?
Yeah, well, it's like that Scott's adverts. It's like, oh, look at me. I'm Scottish, and I clip my bag of soil into the thing, and then afterwards, fucking grass appears. It's fucking magic, I tell ya.
Seed your lawn. Seed it.
You know that you should be an American when you know kind of like, obscure American adverts.
Well, that's because you watch too much Fox Sports 1.
I haven't watched too much Fox Sports 1 this week. I've been too busy, Dave. I mean,
Did your stream come back at least?
Yeah, it did eventually. Thank you very much,
That's
by the
good.
way.
You're
But
welcome.
yeah, my screen and my stream came back, but I was having to write a report this week, and it was really dull and boring. And you know what I'm like when it comes to university work, Dave? I leave it until the very last second.
Like everybody else in the world.
Yeah, it was a proof of evidence to the Birmingham Development Plan pre-submission draft consultation, as if I was a member of Natural England writing about the landscape impacts of the plan. I bet you that just lost us about 4 of our 4 listeners.
Just to say, we're really taking it to them right now.
Yeah, I tell you what.
If you're still listening after this, God bless all of you.
Thank you very much. No, we never finished about Formula One. Formula One this weekend.
We haven't finished anything.
No, Lotus is blowing up again. And the McLaren, did the one thing that Liam Jenkins has never been able to do. It hit puberty. Because that McLaren, I tell you what, that thing grew. And that thing now is a big boy.
Does it rival the Scuderia Toro Rosso?
I tell you what, it's got a better angle. I tell you that one. That thing could really pleasure a Lotus.
Oh boy.
Do you think that we're going to get into trouble with iTunes because I just talked about that?
No, we haven't referenced any parts or anything.
There we are. We're keeping iTunes happy.
With a Toro Rosso nose.
Yes, of course. Toro Rosso noses. And McLaren as well. Let's not forget, McLaren, this one-off sponsorship deal is now for the first half of the season because McLaren don't want to tell us that they've not got a sponsor. So what they're doing is they're enhancing the celebration of their partnership with Mobile One by keeping that livery on there for the first half of the season.
Try it again.
You're not
Mobile.
Mobile.
There you go.
Mobile. It's not like Metro PCS and the power. Metro PCS should so sponsor the Lotus, because then you could really have some period power.
Oh, God.
We talked about the condom jokes and everything, and the Viagra jokes. Metro PCS need to sponsor the Lotus.
Can you imagine if some, like red transmission fluid or something started leaking out of that car?
Oh, God. That is period power.
Like I said last time, the guy who keeps screaming period power has clearly never had a girlfriend.
Yep. However, he's doing one thing's right. Let's be honest, during period power time, that's pretty much the only thing you could do with your balls.
Slam them around into a bus?
Pretty much. You're not going to get it anywhere else.
Cracking bricks with them?
The moderately funny thing is that it's pretty close to blue ball as well. So, you know, purple, blue, it's basically a red ball and a blue ball merged. There we are. There's so many subliminal things in that advert. It's just insane. And it, of course, was not written by a woman.
Of course not. You're very analytical, Mr. Vincent. You analyze, like, everything to the umpteenth degree.
That's why I'm the official commentator for the Irishman.com World Championship. Wait a minute. Have I just gone from period power to talking about my commentary?
Yes.
Oh,
excellent segue.
God, yeah. Wow. That's impressive even for me. But
how about that Motors TV thing? Anything come of that yet?
Well, as you know, I don't give two shits about it. Even though I don't give two shits about it, people are still sharing my video. It's like, what are you doing?
Everybody loves Will Vincent.
Well, yeah, we know that, but what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Why do we have to Next year, I should commentate like a Russian.
Give us a sample.
And now you'll see as they come into the corner, and there, Vladimir Putin, the excellent Vladimir Putin, he goes into the corner, he wins the race for Soviet Russia.
In Soviet Russia, you don't commentate the race.
Anyway, by the time next year comes around, we'll probably all have to be learning Russian.
Well, yeah, true. We don't talk about politics on our show, but shit! Does anyone remember the nuclear war drills?
Duck and cover.
Literally. So that will be an interesting one, especially for all the chavs who wear duck and cover clothes all the time. We've got a brand over here called Duck and Cover. Whole new meaning. Basically, people they should make them extra flammable, because this will be Darwinism to a T. Because then what would happen is anyone wearing them, they'll be dead. We're left with only intelligent human beings.
Have you seen the movie The Atomic Cafe?
No, I haven't. Is that any good?
It's kind of like a black comedy where they take a lot of the old 50s and 60s, nuclear drill videos and propaganda videos and kind of, put them all into one film. And it's just kind of hilarious to think that we were telling people that if you duck under your desk and hide your head in a nuclear explosion, that everything will be fine.
You know the reason why I said that, don't you?
What, to make you feel like you actually had a shot at surviving?
No, it's so that they could find all the body parts easier.
Well, who's going to look for them after a nuclear explosion? Ain't going to be nothing left.
I don't know, the people who survive. There's employment. At least you'll have no unemployment afterwards. Try going down to the benefits office afterwards.
Oh, God. Pretty sure the last place I'm going to go after a nuclear explosion is a government office.
Well, yeah, you know. See, the One and Day Show, bringing you top quality consumer advice on how to handle a nuclear explosion. This is the sort of shit you only get currently Fridays 4 p.m. Eastern on GlacierTV. It could change. We'll advise you on the next episode. Of course, we'll talk serious for a minute. Because the Grand Prix is in Malaysia this weekend, and the whole flight thing in Malaysia is still going on. It is kind of tough for the Malaysian organisers to really care about this Grand Prix this weekend.
Yeah, the unfortunate circumstances with Flight 370 have kind of overshadowed the event in the country. So, yeah, it's going to go on, but the host nation probably could care less, to be quite honest.
And in some ways, in the same way that back in 2001, it was actually a combination of WWF SmackDown and then the American Grand Prix. And I will actually give a little bit of credit here to Vince McMahon. Without that episode of SmackDown, you would not have had the US Grand Prix a couple of weeks afterwards. Because actually what SmackDown did for the American people in being able to bring a lot of people together and actually say, look, we are just going to go back out and enjoy ourselves because we have to. In some ways, the Grand Prix could really kind of give a sense of community to Malaysia and actually show, you know, how there can be solidarity, not only in Malaysia, but worldwide.
Yeah, that's a good point, Will. Yeah, sometimes you need a distraction, and this might be a good opportunity to, help some people get their minds off things a little bit. And, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, so I can't put it eloquently, but it couldn't hurt for them to have something as a distraction right now.
As far as the Grand Prix goes, it's the hottest race of the year. There are storms forecast, and let's be honest, we love Malaysia when it's stormy. Thoughts of the race? Who's going to win it?
Oh boy. Well, I'm thinking if
Multi 21, Seb. Multi 21.
I'm predicting that Vettel doesn't finish again. I think a Williams will be on the podium. It's going to be a battle between Hamilton and Rosberg. Who doesn't blow up wins the race.
What about Ricciardo?
Oh, you know what? If he's running that illegal fuel filter thing or fuel flow monitor, he could put up as much fuel as he wants in there. He could be on the podium again, but the technical regulations say that since they're under penalty right now and they're protesting the penalty, even if he does get on the podium, he may not be allowed to go on it.
True, that is a good point, actually. And again, there's controversy in F1. This is not what we want to have start an F1 season in many ways. And again, Red Bull, it's all your fault. Go fuck yourself. There's the guy who later on tonight will go and buy another can of Monster Energy. But not in support of Kyle Busch.
Kurt Busch.
No, I was talking about Kyle, actually.
Well, Kurt Busch
okay, they
is
share
sponsored by
that
Monster.
team. Yeah, they kind of share that team, don't they?
How about something we can all agree on? The Monster Girls.
Oh, yes. Monster Girls! Woo! And from Monster Girls, we will go stick with America because, Dave, IndyCar. It starts this weekend on the street of St. Petersburg. And there's so many storylines coming into this event. I mean, can Montoya actually drive a car whilst eating a Big Mac? You've got, can Will Power actually keep some momentum going and win a championship? Can Dixie kind of fix his curse after winning a championship, being shit the following year? And also, TK, no one's talked about this yet, TK's in a Ganassi, not any Ganassi, he's in that 10 car.
Yeah, and let's not forget the most recent bombshell of some of the Ganassi guys calling out Tim Cindric, saying that, Penske has a lot of respect, but since Tim Cindric's there, he's, I think Dario quote said that Cindric is a piece of shit.
Which, not going to lie to you, I kind of agree with. And he doesn't have the high. And let's be honest, you're pairing him with a driver like Will Power, who a lot of people don't like anyway. It's just kind of a little bit, actually, a bit like that 18 team in NASCAR.
Yeah, and not to mention, how many times has Cindric screwed Will Power in the strategy game the last couple seasons?
2010 Chicagoland cost him the championship. Cost him the championship in 2011.
Baltimore.
At Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore he did it. He's done it basically every year. And this is the one thing I do feel a little bit bad for Will Power. Yes, someone else won that championship. Yes, Will Power lost it in 2010 by deciding he wanted to make love to the outside safety barrier at Homestead. Perhaps looking for a little bit of the Café de Brazil. And then, of course, he also did the same thing in 2012 at Fontana. And the issue, I think, with that entire organization is they don't know how to close a deal. They're a bit like one of those salesmen, you know, like you get the telly salesman that get you all amped up and excited, and then you actually say, yeah, okay, I'll do this. It's like, shit, what do I do now? Because he's been hanging up on me all day.
Yeah, to your point about not, finishing. Well, we could go a lot of places for that. Anyway, look at Castroneves last year. Basically had the championship won, and 2 races in a row, the car falls apart on him and just throws the championship away. Dixon wasn't going to win that race or that championship without major issues, and he just gave it to him twice at Houston.
Talking about not finishing, there is something that you can finish a lot faster than Elio, Dave. You know what that is?
Who's that?
Your tax return.
TurboTax, the unofficial sponsor of Elio Castroneves.
Yeah. However, let's not forget that Elio can at least get a quicken loan for when the IRS come up behind him. So he's okay. He won't go bankrupt.
I wasn't worried about Elio Castroneves going bankrupt.
No. It's an interesting season. The one thing that I actually talked about, I was on this podcast yesterday. Not going to lie, don't know what it's called. It was with some friends of mine over at Downforce UK, and they made me come over to talk about American things. I wonder why. But for the first time in ages, we've not really got many Brits in the field. Because, of course, Dario's gone. We've got Mike Conway on a part-time schedule. We've got Justin Wilson, but we've not any Pippa Man. There's no amazingly attractive Catherine Legg. And let's be honest, Catherine Legg is the complete opposite of Pippa Man, who looks more like a horse than Jamie Little.
Jamie Little does not look like a horse. Come on.
Nay!
You never posted the picture I put out last week.
Yeah, because it's animal porn.
No, it's not.
No, she just had a weird face in that, though, to be fair. But yeah, Pippa Man. Of course, Pippa Man is still doing some work with IMS Radio. However, IMS Radio is fucking awesome, Dave!
Paul Page,
the god of IndyCar.
That's right.
I mean, I was seriously, if IMS Radio to contact me and say, yeah, we're going to sack Paul Page, you want to commentate? I'd be like, go fuck yourself.
Why the hell would they sack Paul Page anyway?
I know. Why did they get rid of Paul Page in the first place? I mean, who gives a fuck about NRHA except for Ryan Norton?
We actually called them by name.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Shut up, Trost.
Talking about this as well, at some point, Dave, we do need to do the Afterburn Diaries.
Yeah, you keep saying it, but then you never do it.
Episode 25, the Afterburn Diaries.
Oh, he's made a date.
There we go. Wait a minute. Actually, that's what we're on episode 22 now, so that's in 3 weeks' time. That will be in
3 weeks' time.
Yeah, that will be the week before my birthday. So at that point, because it's Easter, I'm actually drinking non-stop that week anyway, so this is going to be interesting. The Afterburn Diaries coming to you on roughly Friday the 18th of April 2014.
Wait, did you say that you just drink all Easter week?
Yeah, who eats chocolate when he can drink alcohol?
Well, couldn't you say that for any food item during any week of the year?
You call me
Why
an
is
alcoholic
Easter a
here?
special week? No, I'm not calling you an alcoholic. I'm just saying that you're saying that instead of chocolate, I'm going to drink booze. But it's like, well,
No.
don't
There's
you do
two
that
parts
anyway?
to this because you've got Easter, and then I'm taking the week off work afterwards because it's my birthday. So from the about 6 p.m. on Friday the 18th, all the way through to about midnight on Friday the 25th, because I've got to commentate the Irish.com World Championship Grand Prix Series on the 26th, I'm drinking non-stop. Birthday and Easter. I mean, let's be honest, it's the resurrection of the little baby Jesus. I celebrate that by drinking alcohol. Then it's the birth date of the awesome... Actually, you don't know my real name. The person who now is known as Will Vincent. So, yeah, you know...
Wait. Will Vincent's not your real name.
It's okay. It's my legal name. I've had 2 names before this.
Okay, where did your first name come from then?
The first name came from the fact that I was born. I was born by a Nigerian mother, and I didn't have a father. I am actually, Dave, call me a bastard.
I know you're a bastard, but what's your original name?
Mark Brimmer.
Seriously?
Yes. Now I said that, I can't use that as an account on iRacing.
Well, you weren't going to do that anyway, because that would be against the sporting regulations.
Correct.
Anyway, how long did you go by that name?
Until the point I was adopted.
And when was that? How old were
6
you?
months old.
Oh, so you never had any realization that anyone was ever calling you that.
No, because I don't remember anything until the first thing I remember was driving from Tesco, which is our version of like Walmart, back to my house when I was about 18 months old.
That's the first thing you can remember?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I remember like I was like 2, and I remember like my mom or something like took us to a restaurant or something. Maybe I don't remember exactly where we were, but I remember like getting put in the car, and it might have only been like a minute, but it seemed like they were outside the car like for an eternity, and then my parents got into the car and we drove home.
See,
but when you're like 2 years old, a minute could be like 10 years.
The second thing I remember was my adopted mother beating the shit out of me because at 2 years old, I didn't know how to spell a 7-letter word. It was like, well, come on. Bit of pressure here, Mom, all right? I'm still shitting myself, and you want me to spell?
Well, here's the thing. You still can't spell, and you're still shitting yourself.
The first one's true because I'm dyslexic. I only shart once every 6 months.
Will, did you? You were getting beat because you couldn't spell right because you had a disability.
Well, they didn't know I was
That's
dyslexic
horrible.
at the time. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, because they're too busy beating the hell out of you to figure it out.
True story. Thank you very much. You justified my hatred for my adopted parents.
The Will and Dave show, justifying hating your parents.
Yep.
Speaking of hating things, Pierre Bourdon went on a rant on the forum. It's fresh and new, hot off the wire. How do you KFC?
Oh, that is probably the worst sponsorship in a while.
Did you like how I threw that in there?
I really do.
Just a heads up, guys. I got a 1-week suspension from racing sessions for entering the wrong pits out of turn 1 by mistake in my second race of the week in the GT3 series. No warning, straight to jail. Supposedly, I got an advantage by doing so. If I remember good, I got a fairly big time penalty doing so and finished 1 lap down. So yeah, big advantage, wink face, thumbs up. My concern is why would someone protest that other than wanting to be a asterisk, 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 asterisk?
I think the word he's looking for there is cunt.
So, be aware, the Sharks...
Shut up, Trist!
The Sharks are watching.
User in your channel was banned.
You did exactly what I was about to do.
If he can't... God, you know what that laugh sounded like? You remember the movie Home Alone?
Yeah.
Where the guy in the Angels with Filthy Souls is shooting the guy, and he's just like...
See, that was my second name. Actually, no, it wasn't.
What, Angels with Filthy Souls?
Yes. That's what it's translated as in Finnish.
So, let's just put it out there for the iRacers who may be listening. You go through the wrong pits, you get a time penalty. How in the world is that worthy of any kind of suspension?
Because moving on.
Brooks Westfall says that the Baltimore Colts left for Indy today. F you, Ursay. Brooks, aren't you like 12 years old?
I don't care.
Brooks, I wasn't even alive yet, I don't think, when the Colts moved to Indy.
Yeah, but still a historic moment.
He's only lived with the Ravens in his life, so why is he all upset about the Colts?
Well, because of the fact, well, let's be honest, it's kind of doing it wrong, really, because of the fact that, you know, they left Baltimore. So, yes, we're saying fuck you, Ursay, but at the same time, it's Ursay who brought them to Indianapolis. So that entire comment is flawed in its entire premise.
My comment?
No, Brooks' comment.
Oh.
Because it was Ursay who put them all in fucking trucks and moved them to Indianapolis. They didn't say, okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ursay, we're going to leave without you now. It was all Baltimore's fault.
Yep.
Although,
well, hey, you know, Ursay's son's paying for it now, driving around with a bunch of pills and money in his car, allegedly.
Well, let's be honest. JP and I, we take the piss out of Ursay quite a lot, to be fair. Because have you ever seen one of the post-game videos with, from the Colts?
No, I haven't.
They're fucking hilarious. It's basically a game of how many times will Ursay stumble over in this video.
It's that bad, huh?
It really is that bad. And as a huge Indianapolis Colts fan, I hope that Jim Irsay will fucking go fuck himself and land himself in jail and eventually die, because he's the worst thing in the Colts organization. Well,
you know that the NFL could take team away from him if he gets arrested or charged or, you know, put in jail with anything that may make the league look bad.
For all I care, give it to anyone else in Indianapolis. Fuck it. Give it to the Holman Jaws family for all I care. Give it to the Pacers owners. I don't care. Take it away from that fucking cunt Irsay. I mean, I've still got bad blood about Manning. I love Andrew Luck to pieces, mainly because of the fact that, you know, he spent time over in this country. But at the same time, Irsay, through his arrogance and his sheer patheticness, cost the Colts a Super Bowl this year.
Harsh words from Will Vincent on the Will and Dave Show live on GlacierTV.
Indeed.
We're almost out of time.
We are almost out of time because you've actually got to go and do something useful with your life. IndyCar, who's going to win the race?
Oh boy. Well, Will Powers at least got a shot at it because J.R. Hildebrand won't be in the race running him over this year. So, I'd like to say that Will Powers is going to win this thing because, and I haven't heard anybody mention this, these guys who want to win the championship who are not really great at ovals need to step their game up and get as many points as they can on the road courses because of the double points on the Triple Crown races, which, oh, by the way, are all at ovals, and Will Power is not very good at the ovals.
We talked about this
historically.
Last week.
I know that.
Okay, good. Okay. Who? By the way, the 4 car. There is no Panther car. At St. Pete. Panther's pretty much dead.
I think the Panther team, as we knew it, is no longer in existence.
Yep, which sucks. And I'm incredibly glad that one of my best friends decided that he had the intelligence to jump ship in time.
Yes, he did. He saw the writing on the wall, and he got out, and he's better for it. And he's probably in a better position than he was at this time last year.
Well, yeah, mainly because he is writing things on walls. However, it's IndyCar's walls.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, who's going to win at the paperclip?
The paperclip. Oh, gosh.
Sorry, I'll rephrase. Who's going to get themselves a grandfather clock?
Jimmy Johnson's going to rebound from California and win this thing.
Gotta go get myself my Lowe's. Got to love my Lowe's. Lowe's! Oh my god, Lowe's! Lowe's! Justin Petshower, Brandon Troche, you each have 15 seconds to argue about anything you want to do, starting right now!
Right now.
Leilani Munter apparently does not like what is going on in IndyCar with no female drivers.
Well, okay, we'll be honest about that.
Wow.
Simona Di Silvestro, she's going to a better place. Potential form of Formula 1 drive, I will happily support that. Pippa Man,
Yep.
she's a horse. Nay!
Well, if you ever walked behind her in the garage, I think you'd have a little nicer opinion of her.
Whoppa Gangwang style. About time we used that in the fucking Will and Dave show. And Catherine Legg, I tell you what, Legg can just live with me for all I care. She's beautiful. She's amazing. She can do, and of course she's in Delta Wing as well. Yes, there are no female drivers in IndyCar, but at the same time, we talk about drivers in IndyCar. We don't talk about whether you're male or you're female. We got rid of that as soon as Danica fucking Patrick left. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to end episode number 22 of the Will and Dave show, and let's drink because we mentioned Danica Patrick. You drinking, Dave?
Drink again.
Right, shit, I need to get my Budweiser ready. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop.
Wait, you're drinking Budweiser?
Uh-huh.
I thought you didn't
They
drink
have that?
beer. It's the king of beers, Trost. It's everywhere.
It is the beer that starts with full flavour and ends with a crisp, clean finish. Great times are waiting, grab some buds, and don't forget, you can do this stupid thing with Budweiser and Kevin Harvick and Speed Tweets.
Speed tweets.
Yes.
Hashtag hi to UKFC. We should
What a relief it is.
We should hashtag. This is how I KFC and do the Will and Dave show. We'll do it live.
It's gonna be legend. Wait for it. And I hope you're not lactose intolerant, because the second half of that word is dairy.
Well, that is it. Episode XXII of the Will and Dave show is in the books. Join us next week for the Blink 182 episode of the Will and Dave show, because after all, what the fuck is my age again? Will Vincent along with Dave Judson. Don't forget, you can do all these stupid things on Twitter and on Facebook. Facebook.com/Will and Dave show, at the Will and Dave show on Twitter. Hashtag Will and Dave. Facebook.com/I am Will Vincent. Dave, what's going to be the best race this weekend?
IndyCar at St. Pete, hands down.
There we are, and who knows, we might even get Takuma Sato winning and blocking people once again. You'll find out. We'll have such a good thing to talk about next week. There's Martinsville racing, there's IndyCar racing, there's Formula 1 racing, there's probably some shit thing going on in some club that no one cares about, but we might even talk about it next time on the Will and Dave show. Dave, hit it!
Of all the podcasts that I've done, this one was